Welcome to Annenberg Media Center. I'm Chloe Kisikopoulos.
And I'm Josh Cohen. Well, I'll tell you what, Chloe, USC and Notre Dame, number 11 against number 13 in the country, under the lights in South Bend. Cannot wait. A huge one this weekend. But before we get into those X's and O's, let's check in with USC and how they're faring in the Pac12 standings. They're in Glazer.
Thanks, guys. USC leads the Pac12 South with a 4-1 record in conference. The Arizona schools are right behind them with 2-1 records, and then Utah, UCLA, and Colorado each have a 1-2 record. But up in the Pac12 North, it's a bit more competitive, with 3 ranked teams in the 2 Washington schools and Stanford all fighting for the top spot. Now, on the bright side for the Trojans, they've already played their required 4 games against the North this year, so after Notre Dame this weekend, the rest of their schedule will all be Pac12 South teams. Now, if USC is to hold up against these South teams that all have worse records right now, then the Trojans' path to Santa Clara and the Pac-12 championship game on December 1st becomes a lot easier. Now remember, the Trojans did not win the Pac-12 South last year, and while they still made the Rose Bowl, Clay Helton and Lynn Swann have made it clear that winning the Pac-12 South is first priority. So Josh and Chloe, let's see if the Trojans can do it this year.
Oh, Aaron, let us see. It is a big one. 4:30 local time, Pacific. Oh, man, it's a big one, Chloe. It's a big one. Not only playoff implications on the line with USC and Notre Dame, not only history on the line. It's going to be a really fun game to watch.
Oh, definitely. You know, that rivalry game, always big, always huge. We only get 5,000 fans in the Notre Dame Stadium, but it's going to be great. We're going to be loud. We're going to be crazy. Let's get hyped.
5,000? That's not a lot. All right, make some noise.
Only 5,000 tickets, but you know, it's all right.
It's all right.
We got it.
It's all right. But you say we got it. We'll see. Tall task. Tall task. Notre Dame's offense this year has been unreal. Really, really sound offense. I mean, look at just the numbers right here. The red zone one, do not sleep on that one. Very effective inside the 20, score a lot of touchdowns. Rushing yards per game, they've got a special running back we'll talk about in just a second. Yards per game, really, really nice as well. And I mean, throughout the season, Chloe, I think we've just seen an Irish team looks a lot different than it did last year.
I know, but I mean, USC's defense has always been strong, especially this year. We are coming out, we are attacking, we're stopping the offense. I see some great numbers here, but you know, I'm not worried. Not worried at all. Not
worried about a thing. Well, Michigan State was worried about a thing when Notre Dame put up 38 on the scoreboard in East Lansing, so the Irish can obviously put up the points. And the players that they do it with on that offense, oh, they're special. The ground game for Notre Dame is something to truly behold. Quarterback Brandon Wimbush, running back Josh Adams. It's a tandem, maybe unlike any in college football.
That's true. You know, he is a dual threat, that quarterback. Yep. He can rush, he can throw. He only has 2 interceptions to Darnold's 7. So, you know, tough matchup there, but I think it'll be okay. Josh Adams, 7th ranked running back in the country. Yep. Really, really strong. Rushing yards per game, huge. Huge.
Absolutely huge. And it's also Brandon Wimbush on the zone read, very effective. 8 touchdowns this year. I don't care that 4 of them came against Boston College. He has 8 touchdowns. That's unbelievable. And Josh Adams, this is a guy who's second only to Stanford's Bryce Love and yards per carry in the FBS. He is incredible, has that big playability that you love to see. And the key also, one of the biggest weapons for the Irish, their health. Didn't play last game. Brandon Wimbush, that is, against UNC. That right foot is good to go. He will be healthy, and he will be playing at 4:30 Pacific at Notre Dame Stadium.
And, you know, I caught up with Lynn Swann yesterday to talk about this matchup. Huge game up ahead. He was very excited to talk with me. Let's hear what he had to say. I'm here with USC's athletic director, Lynn Swann. Thank you so much for being here today.
Oh, my pleasure. What's on the agenda?
You ready to talk a little USC Notre Dame rivalry game football with me?
It's always good.
What are you most looking forward to about this matchup?
Well, hopefully that's a win for USC, that we continue to see our team grow. It's very talented players, but we want to see them continue to grow and get better and how they move the game forward to start to dominate a football team as opposed to just winning. I think those things are important. And for our fans and for our football team especially, playing a game in South Bend, national TV on NBC, it's a chance for a lot of high school athletes to see our team and to see how we play. So this is not just a game about a win or a loss. This is a game to establish an imprint on the minds of young football players around the country who are watching these 2 teams play and have them come away saying, hey, I should think about going to USC.
Do you think that this rivalry is as big as the USC-UCLA rivalry?
It's maybe bigger because it's a national rivalry. I recall that our game always seemed to have an impact on the national picture, who's ranked in the top 10, and very often who might be ranked number 1, 2, or 3. Even a game like this game coming up against Notre Dame, where Notre Dame started out the beginning of the season with a lot of question marks, and Notre Dame is playing well. Okay, we've had some close games for USC, kind of reminiscent of the cardiac kids back in the late 60s when they won a lot of games at the last minute. And so people are talking about this game and the impact it'll have on the national picture. And we don't want to give Notre Dame that chance to get back on that scene. We want to beat them. I think our seniors, more than anybody else, want to beat them. They want to keep a strong winning record against Notre Dame. So this will be a tough ball game. This is a good football team that's improved throughout the season. We need to play strong, we need to play consistent, and we need to play mistake-free in order to win this game.
What did the USC Notre Dame rivalry game mean to you as a player?
Well, you learn it because if you don't grow up with college football, you don't know about the rivalry. You learn about it, all the history, all the tradition, the impact of the game, all the great players that have played in the game and play against each other at the professional level. All of those things, even to the point where we have rivalries and we compete against each other in things like the Hall of Fame. There are 12 USC former players who are in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. There are 13 from Notre Dame. So we need to get 2 more.
And what was it like playing home versus away?
You just have that home crowd. Everybody's rooting for you, everybody's behind you, everything is familiar. And the advantages of being the home team. When we play back at South Bend in that stadium, we will have maybe 5,000 people. Not because we wouldn't have more, but that's all the tickets we get. But our band will be there, our alumni will be there, and they'll be heard even though it's a small number in that big stadium. But it's hostile territory, and you'll see the guy dressed up like a leprechaun, and he'll be running around, and everybody will be in Notre Dame colors, much like everybody's in cardinal and gold when you're at USC. And you fight through all of those things. You look back and you look at the building, the library behind the stadium, and there's what they refer to as Touchdown Jesus, who's standing there over the stadium with his hands up like this, like signaling a touchdown for the home team. But we hope to score a lot in that end zone.
With all the scheduling changes, do you think that this matchup will continue for the next 20 or 30 years?
As athletic director at the University of Southern California, there is no game outside the Pac-12 that I would fight harder to keep than our rivalry against Notre Dame. I think it's important, the tradition, college football, what we both stand for, the impact it's had on the game. I will do everything in my power to make sure this rivalry stays intact.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you listen closely there, guys, I think I heard just a little bit of trivia from Lynn, Swann, Jody Sullivan, Sarah McGrew. We are playing trivia, USC and ND. How we feeling?
I'm excited. Don't think I'm going to know much, but we'll see.
I'm excited for the game this weekend.
Okay, the resident ND fan, Jody. All right, we'll see. We'll see. I think she's going to know a thing or two. All right, first question. Get ready. Who is Notre Dame's all-time leader in passing yards? Hints can be provided. Hints can be provided. Played there
Rhymes
about a
with
decade
what?
ago.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
In the Bush-Push game. Okay. Anything? Throw up the whiteboards. Nothing. Question mark.
Blank.
Blank. Okay. All right. The answer is Brady Quinn. Brady Quinn with 11,762 yards. A fine college QB in his day. All right, number 2. Here we go. Going to get this one. When is the last time USC won at Notre Dame? Jody's got it. Jody's got it. She's got it. It's just the math. She's all over it. Jody carrying the one over there. Stop. She's got it. She's got it. I can see it.
Are we flipping?
We're flipping.
Okay.
Let's flip it. Oh.
Oh. No, just off.
3 years. These. Okay. I like the wording on that. That is not. I'm going to give you partial credit.
Okay.
It was 2011 because in the odd years USC is at Notre Dame, so it was 2011.
So I got an odd year right, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Well, I think you said 3 years ago, which would be an even year, 24. Anyways, let's move on.
sorry.
Jody gets partial credit for that one. Big rushing day from Curtis McNeil in that USC 31-17 win. All right, numero tres. In history, Notre Dame has only played one team more than USC. Who would that team be? Jody is stoic. She's not even looking at the board. This is unreal. This is unprecedented. Jody just wrote an answer without even looking. Back of her hand. I think she's got it.
I definitely don't.
You don't?
No.
Anything? I mean, you should write
Yeah,
it
I'm
down.
just gonna.
I think
First university that comes to mind.
but it's fine.
Anything? Jody said it's fine. It's like head tilt, no problem. No problem. All right, flip those boards. Alabama. Navy! Jody crushes it! The resident ND fan and the crowd goes wild. They have played USC 88 times. They have played the midshipmen 90. So Jody gets that one. All right, Brian Kelly. We talked about him before the show. He's been at ND for a while. He's won a lot of games, but he hasn't been there his whole life. Which school did Brian Kelly leave to become the head coach at Notre Dame?
Oh my God.
Jody with 1.5 on the scoreboard. Oh, I love it. I love it. He joined him before the 2010
What about
season.
a hint?
Joined him before the 2010 season. Okay, the team that he came from got crushed in the bowl game that year against Florida because he wasn't there anymore. Not saying that's the only reason they got crushed. They were playing a great Florida team. But he left right before they lost the Sugar Bowl to the Gators. He was not there to coach his team because he had already accepted the job in South Bend. Jody might have it. All right, real quick, throw them up. We got.
I'm blank.
You're blank. Okay.
Yeah, I'm blank.
One last one. One last one. It's not the easiest one, but maybe you'll get it. The last Pac-12 school that Notre Dame played, not named USC or Stanford. Jody is just doing a victory lap at this point because this is not worth 2 unless I suddenly decide to make it worth 2. We'll see. Uh-oh.
Also wrong.
Also wrong, probably.
Oh, no. Both going from the north. It's actually from the south. Arizona State in 2014, and the Sun Devils beat ND in Tempe. All right, so there you have it. Trivia. Jody, Sarah, it's been an absolute blast. Jody gets the win, and looking forward to watching the game. All right.
Yep.
USC football, of course, all the headlines with the game against Notre Dame coming up. But how about those other sports? Let's light the torch with Kendall Polk.
From the field to the court, the women of Troy are on fire this season. It's time to light the torch. Starting on the field, the number 6 women's soccer team dominated over Colorado this past weekend. Despite the absence of starter goalie Kaylee Collins and defender Dominique Randall, the women of Troy shut out the Buffs 2-0, boosting their overall record to 11 wins, 1 tie, and 1 loss. The team was led by seniors Alex Anthony and Sydney Sladek, who both scored the only goals of the game in the first half. Hoping to keep their best start since 2008, the women of Troy head away this week to play Washington Thursday and Washington State Sunday. And now onto the court. The women's volleyball team hosted California and Stanford this past weekend. The women of Troy dominated 3-1 over the Golden Bears thanks to junior libero Victoria Garrick, who led the team with 22 digs and 5 assists. However, the team suffered their first home game loss of the season to the number 3 Stanford Cardinal. The women of Troy are still ranked in the 3rd in the Pac-12, and head coach Mick Haley believes the team has what it takes to reach number 1.
We're real close, but if we get there, the next thing I'll challenge them with is, can we sustain? You know, well, first I want to get there. We're close. We're really close.
The women of Troy head out to Colorado Friday and Utah Sunday, hoping to finish up the first rounds of the Pac-12 matches with wins.
Well, I'll tell you what, Chloe. USC beat Utah in one of the games of the season in college football, and the game-winning touchdown scored by Rojo was one for the highlight reel.
Oh, definitely.
Let's take a closer look. Oh my goodness. The flip, Chloe. The flip.
You know, I actually talked to him about it, and he said he fell, and it didn't really hurt that much. His butt was a little sore, but other than that, really not too bad.
He's all over it. That's how I get up and out of bed every morning. It's a little flip, stick the landing. All right, Josh, Chloe saying so long. Follow us on everything at Annenberg Media Sports. We'll catch you guys next week.
See ya.